Hi guys, it's me. I'm back. I'm at YCS Philly. I lost the last 2 rounds, so I did not make top cut. But I got day 2 with a Runick pile. It's definitely a Runick pile. Yeah, this is. I'll explain it as I go. I think it's the best way to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna get these over with now. 3 Tikaboo, 3 Skill Drain, 3 Gozen. So decks aren't prepared for these. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, there's not prepared. So it was actually making it a very good choice at the event to play these, because no one is playing enough back row removal. You can look at all the top profiles; they're not playing enough back row removal. Then here are my Runick cards: 3 Runick Tip, 3 Runick Flashing Fire. So these cards are like multi-purpose. I'll get when I get to the extra deck, it's important. But like the main priority of these is popping things like a Rise Heart going second. So like you can just use like Tip, get Flash Fire, pop a Rise Heart, and then like your rest of the deck just works normally. And you dedicate nothing to it, and you don't care about your battle phase, because like these are pretty much your win con, because they punish people. And yeah, they also have other applications when I get to the extra deck. This is definitely not the main part, but yeah, it's a deck. These are the worst cards in my deck. I want to cut this completely. Yep, there you go. There's not really explaining that. Realistically, these just work the best with these cards, under these cards. And they're all 1 card like starters in a long game. For like generic cards that aren't a part of an engine, the 6 pots, I didn't draw these the last 2, so yeah, rough. Yeah, and then for going second, 3 Lava Golem. I know you're probably thinking these conflict. This card specifically won way more games than if it was Sphere mode. Most people end on like 2 monsters right now. So the 3 monsters like never came up in game 1s at least, you know, aside Sphere mode. So like game 1s just never came up of it being Sphere mode. But like the burn damage won me, I think, 2 different games from this card. And then the last card is Free Punishment. Just a good card, you know. It outs things like Chaos Angel. You can also like when you're against Kashtira, being able to go like Punishment, send End Test, pop the Fenrir, and then use the End Test to pop Birth is like really important in a slow deck like this, because that's how they grind with cards like that. This also outs like the field spell. It's also outs Shangri-La Skill Drain getting popped with the field spell. So like, yeah, it's like the best of what it does. Like, yeah, like all the general popping cards like Flashing Fire and Punishment are very important in this. I'll do extra deck. These 2 cards never came up. I never made them, so they could be anything. They were prosperity like every time. Cards I did make: Link Spider. This is just for punishment. It's 35, so it hits like big stuff, and it dumps Garura after. I played Chaos Angel myself. I can summon it. I'll show you how after. For the Exceeds, I only played Gustav and Pleiades. Both these came up. I don't play Lieb because you don't need it. It's just like if you have 2 Lords and you can go into this, that's just OTK anyway. Like killing through monster, they won't have bodies anyway, so it doesn't matter. So you just don't need it. It's also for time, I guess, technically. And then Pleiades is just like a very good removal, and you can make it under Gozen. And yeah, 2 End Tests and the Garura, of course, for punishment. All right, this weird deck is weird, I guess. 1 Moonin, triple Hugin, and the 1 Gerri. So this is a time card. That's literally all it is. You can use it sometimes to protect from targeting for like back row, but that's like never going to come up. It's mostly for time and being 2,000 defense. Yeah. 3 Hugin. This was to protect me from things like Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm, because a lot of the top decks were playing things like Lightning Storm and that, like wide hits the back row. And I wanted something that wasn't Solemn Judgment that stops those types of interactions. This is also good against like super heavy if they play things like Pancratops, Sage, whatever the floor card is that you activate in the hand, and Archfiend Eccentric. There's like a million like cards, Nightmare Phoenix, like anything that threatens like the win conditions. Not Skill Drain, but like Tikaboo and Gozen, you can still summon this under both of those and protect the Floodgate. So it came up a lot, and yeah. And the last one's Freki. So Freki's just a body that you can defend with, banish top 2, and if it dies, you add back the same thing that summoned it. So it's just like, it's a free chum block. The banish, also the banishing of the Runick cards came up, like you can hit like very important cards. And then also, this card can also kill under Skill Drain. So like there was a game where my opponent, like I attacked him for 2,000, and then I put him at 2,000, and then I flip Skill Drain in battle phase, and then use like Flashing Fire to summon Freki, and then attack for 2,000. It negates the effect to make it not do damage. So you can kill in battle phase with it. yeah, I think that's like pretty much it for that. Side deck is like pretty straightforward. 3 Judgment, because you're playing a trap deck, you still have to, you know, use that. 3 Grave. So this is kind of wonky because you're playing Eldlich and you can't really end the game as per se with Golden Ward with this, but like Branded and Fenrir are such hard cards and like decks to out that like you just need something that's like specifically for them also, because like Gozen kind of sucks in some of those matchups and you have to replace it, or Tikaboo. So this just works out the best to not get like Fenrir either. Yeah, you could also like exceed with them and go into other cards like Pleiades and Gustav to try to like still push through while they're on their floodgates. So usually your stuff's just bigger and you can just make it work. 3 copies of Border. This is like, it almost feels like an auto win against Samurai. Like I summoned this and then I just attacked them 4 times and he just couldn't play. 3 Exceed Encore. This was really good going second for like help cracking like cash boards and my out to Noir as well as Sphere, Lava Golem, this and Sphere Mode. I never put this in versus Pearly, but this is for Pearly, of course. Because once you out the Noir and you just, it doesn't matter how many of the Pearly cards they get back to their hand. It doesn't matter because you just flooded, like use, you know, Skill Drain. There can only be one, goes in, and it just ends the game anyway. So they have a million dead cards if you think of it that way. And then 3 Sphere Mode for going second against like super heavy and cash. Yeah, it's always like generic stuff. Yeah, that is what I played. This deck's still playable after the ban list, so yeah, it's not a completely useless deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's something a little different than I normally play, but yeah. Bye-bye.